Good morning, Southern California. I'm John Baldwin with John Hart Real Estate, and today is President's Day, February 21st, 2022. We got a quick video today. Just want to touch on a couple things, and then in the email, the blast email that goes out on Mondays, the Off Market Monday email, you're going to see some of the listings that are getting ready for market, aren't active yet, but they're getting prepped. The paperwork has been signed, and so take a look at those, see if there's anything in that list that jumps out at you, and if you want more information, just give me a call, 213-973-3777. Now I kind of want to jump into this article. It goes into some of the data we're looking at. This is just my website, Homes by Baldwin, just the landing page. So if you have any searches you want to do, definitely feel free to pop over there and check it out. So let me get into this. This is a CNBC article. January home sales jumped 6.7% despite a record low supply. And this is something that's been going on. We've been seeing a lot of multiple offer situations returning. As interest rates have started to rise in February, people are getting off the sidelines and really jumping on these. But there's some gems hidden in this article that I think are really interesting. 6.5 million units, that's pretty normal. 16 supply of homes fell to a record low, down 16.5% from a year ago. Now, I'll jump into a different slide in a minute. I want to talk about inventories. I did an analysis of Pasadena condos and townhouses the other day, and I've got that slide available, and it has some interesting data on it as well. Tight supply, strong demand pushed the median price of a home sold in January to $350,300. All right, so that's a national number, but what we're looking at is the 15.4% increase from a year ago. So that's an average across the whole country. So the average has gone up that much. That's a big jump. That's a really big jump. Sold in 2 days. That's a normal thing we're seeing on the western half of the country. All right, now they're getting back into this. Sales were 2.3% lower. Compared with January 2021. I think they're looking at volume there. So 860,000 homes across the whole country. I mentioned this before. We're at nationally 1.6 months of supply, but if you look at the LA metro area, we're at 1 month of supply. 1 month. In certain cities like Claremont or Burbank, you're really at 2 to 3 weeks of supply. So we are at record lows, and sellers can really, really, really maximize their sales price right now. So if you've got a property that's a bit of a fixer, now is an opportunity. I've got buyers at pretty much every price point, from call it $500,000 up to $3 million, $4 million. Just looking for something that has the right bones, has the right layout, that they can just put their imprint on and love it. So more about inventory from Lawrence Yun, the chief economist for National Association of Realtors. Reiterating that. Where was I wanted to get into? Homes are selling fast, average 19 days versus 21 a year ago. So it's speeding up. Talk about mortgage rates again on this one. So yeah, we know mortgage rates went up. But this is the little nugget I wanted to get into. The share of sales made all in cash rose to 27% from 19% a year ago. Now, they're putting in here that part of that may be due to the rise in investor share from 22 to 22% from 15% a year ago. So what this is telling me is that there are a lot of investors who are looking at the real estate market as a safe hedge against inflation. They can park some money, maybe put a tenant in there, maybe put get multifamily, get multiple tenants, park the money, and then get the cash flow off the property too. And so that way they get both the benefit of the basically banking their money with, the appreciation, growing it through time, but then they get the cash flow off of it that they can turn around and do something else with. So this is what I've been trying to get people to really understand, is why multifamily and real estate investment property is so clutch, because especially if you can cash out a property, cash out a big multifamily property, you can park that money and it's pretty darn safe. Worst case, let's say you need to pull some of that money out, you can refinance, pull some equity out, and still hold the property. So there are ways to not have to sell it if you need cash in a hurry. So, but this is definitely something I think we are seeing investors get out ahead of inflation, because as everybody knows, 7.5% inflation. We're feeling it at the gas pump. We're feeling it in the grocery store. We're feeling it across the board right now. Everything you are looking at is costing more. So, the major question is whether rising rates will quench housing demand that stems in large part from a demographic tidal wave of young households at key home buying ages. I agree with that. We have a lot of millennials who are at that perfect time to buy a home, and prices are up. So they're trying to get in before inflation, before interest rates jump. So definitely we're seeing that shift. And then here's another one. Newly built homes are actually, during the month, not closings, jumped nearly 12% in December from November. Buyers are turning more to new construction because of low supply. Absolutely true. Buyers are always looking at new construction because of supply issues in the resale market. But the issue, and they're touching on it in the next sentence here, is the supply chain and labor issues. I've been hearing housing starts are way up, but housing completions are way down. And the reason being is that they're waiting on appliances, waiting on materials. Everything is taking longer. It's either sitting on a boat coming from, some other country waiting outside of Los Angeles, or it's on a train from, let's say, Canada or the East Coast or Mexico. Everything is taking longer. Part of that is COVID. Part of that is just the supply chain issues across the board that we're having. So that's something too, so maybe they're wanting to jump on those new homes that are being built, but because the builders are having issues finishing the homes, I think that's an opportunity for sellers in the resale market. So let's keep an eye on that. And so that's really the basics on this. But let's jump into that slide I mentioned, because this is just condos and townhouses in the city of Pasadena only. I was doing this for a specific property, and I happened to have it open on my computer. And if you look at the bottom here, and I'll get my mouse here, this one right here, current versus same month 1 year ago. So January of 2022 versus January of 2021. And look at that, almost 39% lower number of listings. So this is months of inventory. And as you can see, for Pasadena, 0.8 months of supply of townhomes and condos. And so this is just a prime example of our inventory issues that we've been having for several years, but it's been exacerbated as prices go up. We are in such tight supply right now that this is such an amazing opportunity for you sellers to get the most for your property and then turn around and get into a new property, your dream house at a low interest rate, which, as I've mentioned in almost every video, it's probably a cliche at this point. You're going to save more money through time with a good interest rate than you will with a nominal price change on the front end, because you're going to be paying more in interest over the course of the loan than you would if you have an amazing interest rate, locked in today. So give me a call, 213-973-3777, and let's get your house sold.